Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, Darrell's Appliance, HSA Depot, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, Thermo Fisher, Primrose Home Care, and Golden Spike Electric. It's the KVNU Aggie Game Day pregame show.
Well, Boise State, the defending Mountain West champions, march into the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum tonight off of their biggest victory of the season. On Tuesday night, they scored the last 14 points in the last 4:48 to knock off number 18, San Diego State. And they are riding the hot hand of the coach's son, Max Rice. He had 12 points in a row during that closing drive on Tuesday to get the win, 26 against the Aztecs overall. And over the past 4 games, Max Rice is averaging 21 points a game, making big shots from 3, but he's also really aggressive with him taking to the ball to the basket this year. Let's go to Coach Ryan Odom from yesterday.
Max Rice is really elevated, one of the most improved, if not the most improved player in our conference, and has really, played really strong all season long.
And his father, the Mountain West veteran mentor now, Leon Rice, finally solved the Spectrum in 2015. His teams have not looked back since. Broncos' run was 0-18 in Logan. But now, after 2015, they have won 4 of the last 6 times they have come in. Boise has won 5 in a row overall, and that's just the start of our stories for tonight's game day here tonight. This matchup tonight is so full of great stuff to talk about before the game, and we're going to set it up here on our KVNU game day as we go on. Utah State, 1 game back of second place in the conference to the Broncos. They come off their most dominating performance of the year, maybe Wednesday night at UNLV. And once again, back to the coach.
Obviously a tremendous win for us. It got really tight, in the second half, early in the second half. I think they were on a 15-4 run. We were making some mistakes on both sides of the ball. Turnovers, not as organized as we need to be offensively. Fouling on the other end, giving up some offensive rebounds, that we didn't really give up in the first half. Stevens' shot was, a big shot out of a timeout where they were enthused and really defending us. They guarded the play effectively, and Steven just made a play. His little flurry there gave us a little bit of a sigh of relief, and then we were able to kind of play the game from there.
It was the season's best plus 25 scoring margin in conference play, 91-66. Aggies shot their best shooting of the year, 61.8%, almost their best defense, holding UNLV to 31.6%. Speaking of Max Rice, what about Stephen Ashworth lately? I think this was his best ever USU game in his 3rd season. 27 points, 5 of 10 from 3, 10 of 17 overall, 7 assists as well. In his last 3 games, he's averaged 22 points. And in the last 10, 19.2. All of those numbers, all conference numbers. We talked to my man Jalen Moore about that after the game the other night.
Yeah, it definitely was, and what makes all conference players, they make big shots, they make big plays, and we knew Vegas wouldn't go away easy at the beginning, and they went on some runs, and obviously Stephen Ashworth took it upon himself and answered their runs with some of his own. He made some big shots, he made some big passes. He did what you need to do as a team's best player, and like you said, as an all-conference player, which he should be, he made the plays that he needed to withstand those runs and kind of start one of our own.
So Ashworth, like Rice, is on a roll. The Aggies have a 4-game win streak into this senior game tonight, which also brings up the stories up front. Trevin Dorius, Sean Bairstow, R.J. Idlerock again, Dan Akin, and Taylor Funk will all be honored before the game tonight. So, folks, get there early. Be there by 6:45 so you can be loud for them as they are honored with either their brothers. Sean Bairstow's brother, Cam, who played at New Mexico, is here to help him get celebrated. And all the other players will have people out there as well. So we've got hot teams off of big victories, 2 scorers really on it lately. The Aggies' home court, or is it? I mean, it's senior night tonight. Spectrum has been so loud this year, and hopefully it will be that for a huge Utah State win tonight, because we also have the NCAA tournament hopes for both of these teams still going, heading to Vegas in the Mountain West Championship next week. Utah State has now leapt past Boise State in the NCAA net rankings after flattening UNLV, which was surprising because, in the net ranking to pass the Broncos after they beat in that win-win San Diego State at home. So could be some feelings about that going, and both schools need to keep winning to have a shot at the big dance. The field will be announced a week from tomorrow. The Aggies' chances may be enhanced. We'll talk about that as we go on. So quite a night in the Spectrum tonight. No television, just streaming video from Utah State on the Mountain West Network and their apps. And it's KVNU Aggie Game Day tonight. Al Lewis, I'm going to be doing it solo. Jalen Moore, his big day of development of the local players, which is what he does, he and his dad all the time. The AAU club tryouts have been going on all day long today. And as you've heard, we already have maybe an excerpt or two from the number 10 all-time Aggie scorer coming up on game day to keep him in the mix here as well. But also tonight, Know Your Aggies. We've got a Trevin Dorius feature. You're going to like that. And we're going to talk about Trevin and the other seniors. Sean Bairstow, of course, is my Aggie interview tonight on senior night. Of course, he had 10 against Boise State when the Aggies fell flat in January.
There was really no bright spots throughout the whole game. That was definitely our toughest game of the year, and probably our worst performance as well.
So, again, we've got that all coming up straight ahead along with Coach Odom and more as we talk about this big game tonight in the Spectrum. And, again, be careful when you're going up there. It's been snowing pretty good the last little while here in Logan. KVNU Game Day, sponsored tonight by, again, Daryl's Appliance. If you're looking for a new appliance, go no further than the Airport Road in Benson. Daryl's Appliance, again, all the great appliance names, and if you need appliance repair, they do that better than anyone. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, locally owned since 2006. They offer people have a choice. Please choose Primrose for your home care and hospice needs. And they're part of our game day coverage sponsor group tonight. Let's continue. Got lots to talk about tonight. Al Lewis again. We'll get some Jalen Moore comments as we go along and lots more. It's game day as the Aggies are hosting the Broncos in the Spectrum senior night tonight in a big game, and we'll talk about how big it even became with a game earlier today in just a moment.
You've been putting up with a dirty, dusty wood stove for years. Why haven't you changed it? Go to Advanced Fireplace and Stove in Logan. Look through their showroom for ideas on Quadra-Fire pellet and wood stoves and Heat and Glow gas fireplaces. They have several demos in place so you can see firsthand how your project will look. And you can trust the pros at Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They'll do the job right. Advanced Fireplace and Stove, 752-7272. Online at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Prodigy Brewing invites you to enjoy the luck of the Irish all through March with a menu as tasty as a pot of gold. Enjoy Prodigy's new lunch options, including personal-sized pizzas, juicy burgers, chicken sliders, and delicious salads, along with bar menu favorites like wings and beer cheese nachos that'll leave you feeling lucky as a four-leaf clover. Experience Prodigy Brewing, family-friendly dining with an edge. Make sure to follow them on Instagram for special beer releases, St. Paddy's Day weekend specials, live music, and more. Prodigy Brewing on Center Street in downtown Logan.
Girls, insist he take you to Jarek's. Picking out your wedding ring is an experience you will never forget. Come to a place where the mood is right and the setting is perfect for romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan. The perfect collection of memorable designs, classic creation, and modern marvels. If you want an intimate, romantic experience you will never forget, then insist he takes you to Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's at 930 North Main in Logan.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. Life is good. Life at My Mattress is good too. Why might I say that? Because today is a good day to slay a Goliath. The other day I went into a mattress store here in Logan that has 2,500 stores across the country. I'd say that's a Goliath. We were 20% less expensive on every bed that we both offer. We may not have 2,500 stores, but we are number one in Cache Valley. Better product and better prices. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally? Only at My Mattress.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning on News Talk KVNU.
You got to give their crowd and their fans a lot of credit. You know, they stepped up for their team tonight. they're going to come back to, the Spectrum in March, and I would expect a similar atmosphere, in the Spectrum, because that's what we're all about. We cheer for the Aggies and they cheer for their Broncos. And so that's a cool thing.
Yeah, there were 12,007 in a sold-out Extra Mile Arena for that game, again, back on January 7th. It's sell out in the Spectrum tonight for the senior night game as well, even with students on spring break and things. So, again, we're going to reminisce about that in just a moment. But how about today in the Mountain West Conference? UNLV, Aggies flattened them the other night. A player for their team after the game apologized, saying that's not the way we play basketball. Utah State, though, did a job to them. They beat Nevada in overtime at Reno today. UNLV did, 69-67. Darian Williams had a three-pointer at the end that missed. They missed some free throws down the stretch. There was a 13-0 run at the start of the game for the Rebels, and then they got 8 points behind going to the last 2 minutes. And without E.J. Harkless, who fouled out, they still won the game over at Nevada today. What that does is give Nevada 12-6 as their conference record. Aggies go in tonight 12-5, Boise State 13-4. A win by the Aggies would tie Boise State for second place. And in the tie break there, Boise would still get second. We'd get third. So the Aggies could be a third seed into the tournament if they win the game tonight. If not, they'll still be the 4th seed because they don't win the tie break with Nevada and Boise and all of that. But how about earlier today? Amori Moore. I think my vote is he's player of the year in the conference. San Jose, again, already had clinched it with the loss by New Mexico last night, but they still did beat today in their game, Air Force. And the Falcons were up by 20 in that game, 18 with 13 minutes to go. San Jose came back and won at 63-61. They took the lead with 4:12 to go, and then Moore made a basket and 2 free throws in the last minute of the game. Wow. And last night, Colorado State 92-84 over New Mexico. Tanjay had 24 in that game. They hit 58%, 11 of 23s, and they just pounded the Lobos on the backboard. So New Mexico and Nevada have not closed strong if they're thinking about being NCAA teams. It has not helped Nevada, obviously, to lose to UNLV at home and Wyoming, and New Mexico has not exactly been strong here at the end as well. So the Aggies can really keep the resume, which is built and moved to 21 in the net rankings with the win against UNLV, and now win this one here tonight. But we have to reminisce. January 7th, again, the Extra Mile Arena game in Boise was the low point of a terrific Aggie season so far. The Aggies did go in 2-0. Broncos, of course, grabbed, it seemed like right from the start. I mean, a little bit back and forth. But the Aggies only had the lead 18 seconds when Taylor Funk made a three-pointer to make it 7-6 with about 17 minutes to go. The next 4 minutes, it was 10-2 for the Broncos. Aggies got it back to 18-15 with about 11:40 to play. And then over the next 4 minutes, it went out to 28-15 Boise State. And the Aggies were only inside 10 points the rest of the game once. That was ironic. It was a Ryland Jones three-point shot, and that's the last game Ryland Jones has played for Utah State after the concussions. And Max Rice's three-pointer at the end of the half kind of put a cement on the first half when the Aggies were trying to come back. In fact, remember the coach after the game took the blame for that.
I messed up at the end of the half. We're down 12 and switched to the zone really quickly. And we were in positions that we aren't typically in, and they make one pass, and Rice has an open three there, which, was a big game changer going into halftime. Doesn't give you a great feeling going into half. 12 workable, 15 now. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Closest the second half the Aggies got was 15 a couple of times. The last time, though, was 6.5 minutes to go, and then the Broncos ripped out to a big win where they shot 50%. They made 11 of 19 threes. And they had not been shooting a lot of threes up until then. They're pretty good at it now. Much more. They have picked that up. The Aggies only hit 40%, 7 of 21 threes. Were the number one three-point shooting team in the nation. Have slipped back a bit from that, but only 6 for 14 free throws. Remember, 41-29 on the boards for the Broncos at the game. A lot of offensive rebounds. And it got a little chippy at the end of the game. What was it? A couple of double technical fouls were called.
It's not okay to react inappropriately to competition like that. It's like it's a physical game, but it is what it is. Both teams are trying to win.
So, again, there's that in it. All 5 Broncos were in double figures as far as their starters. Degenhardt had 19 with 10. Rice had 14. And Max, of course, is the guy lately who's really been on it. It was a 1-for-12 start for the Aggies from 3 in that game, and again, down as many as 25. And Rylan Jones, like we mentioned, has not played that 15 straight games. Now, we have missed his game. He adds, he never detracts. But that's sports. Injuries are a huge settlement in things. I mean, look at Wyoming's year this year. Their player of the year going into the season never played. Now they're in the cellar, not among the favorites. They were the number 2 preseason pick going in behind San Diego State. Boise State was number 3. And the Broncos lost 3 big cogs off the team that beat the Aztecs in the conference tournament last year. But Marcus Shaver, Tyson Degenhart were coming back. The super sub was Max Rice going to the starting lineup. Veteran coach who has won 20 games, 10 times now in 13 years. Everybody knew the Broncos would be contenders. And then the additions of this Texas Tech, Shabuzo Abo, 6'7", long, athletic, averaging 11 points a game, almost 2 threes a game. Najee Smith showed some last year, but now in his 5th year, much more of a huge part of this team. And he played at times, big times last year, but 10.6 rebounds, 33 blocks. They've made the Broncos a real athletic, very kind of irreversible, changeable type team. They defend. They're elite in the top 30 in the nation. Amari Moore, again, he is a guy who, I'll tell you what, the Mountain West this year has had some good players. I think Amari Moore has probably played better than just about anybody in this league this year, the way he has gone. But he's the only guy of the Stars who's been able to score his average or more in a couple of games against this Boise defense. But like Utah State, Jalen Moore sees them as a very balanced type, balanced team.
Well, they're playing their offense at a very high level. Obviously, you used to kind of center in on guys like Shaver and Degenhart, and like what me and Al touched on before the game, Max Rice has kind of become their go-to guy, and their team has just kind of gotten better altogether. They're very similar to us. They have a lot of guys that can hurt you in a lot of different ways. Every game, it seems like it could potentially be someone different. So I think the most crucial part is definitely going to be our defense and getting stops, because as you could see tonight, when we got some live ball turnovers, we got some stops, stuff like that. It helped us get in transition and get some easy baskets that way as well.
And again, Jalen not with us tonight, doing his AAU tryouts tonight, as he normally is before the games. We're going to share some time with Sean Bairstow later on, but I did ask him again about the feelings of how low it was January 7th at Boise. That was not a very fun day, I'm sure, for this team. In fact, was that about as low as you guys you think you've had a game this year?
Yeah, that's definitely our biggest blow-up game and the most we've lost by. There's really no bright spots throughout the whole game. They were just kind of killing us the whole time. So that was definitely our toughest game of the year, and probably our worst performance as well.
So what did they do so well in that game, or what do you think got you guys off?
I think we weren't hitting a lot of the shots that we usually do, and then there was a couple of execution things that we missed out on, and so those two things combined for about 20-point loss.
And a little bit more on this senior night with Sean Bairstow later on Aggie Game Day. Jalen always does our keys to the game during our pregame here on Game Day when he's here. But to fill in for him, I asked Coach Ryan Odom yesterday to do that. So here are the keys to the game from the coach tonight. Brought to you by Young Truck and Trailer Center, now in Cache Valley, offering trailers and flatbed work trucks at 2900 South and Highway 89. Coach?
Yeah, we have to rebound, no question. When we defend and we rebound, we have a really good chance of winning each game that we play, no matter who we're playing. That has nothing to do with Boise State. That's just our team. Transition defense, just defending in the half court in general, and really trying to force hard shots, and then finishing it with a rebound is going to be key for us. And then that'll allow us to move it up the court, at our pace and play at our pace as well.
So that's what he had to say yesterday on our keys to the game. Like USU, they're 23-7 overall, but they're 13-14 in conference. Their losses: San Diego State once, Nevada once, New Mexico once, and then San Jose. And the blowout of the Aggies January 7th. They win today. They're the number 2 seed. They'll play the winner of the 7-10 game on Wednesday. They lose, and again, they could end up tied with the Aggies, and they'd still be second now because Nevada's not out of there. So even if they lose, they're still going to beat Nevada in the matchup there. So they probably still get the number 2 seed, win or lose, in this game today. The Aggies, of course, can get the number They can tie for second and get the number 3 seed if they win because of the Nevada loss to UNLV today, and that would mean that Utah State would play the 6-11 teams. And after everything is now basically set in the conference except for what happens here, will Utah State be 3rd or 4th? If they win, they're 3rd. If not, they're 4th. San Diego State be number 1. Boise will be number 2. And then you've got either the Aggies or Nevada at 3-4. San Jose 5. New Mexico will be 6. UNLV will be 7. Then you've got Colorado State with that win last night, 8. Fresno 9. Air Force 10. And Wyoming number 11. So if you're looking at Utah State finishing 3rd, they would play the winner of the New Mexico and Wyoming game is what could end up happening for them if they do win this game. Or if not, they're playing San Jose in Las Vegas coming up on Thursday. And again, remember Max Rice after the game? He blasted the Aggies, said, hey, we thought this would be a Division I win, a Quad 1 win, but the way we beat them so badly, maybe it won't be. It ended up not being for a while. Utah State's now back in there to make it a Quad 1 win. The irony here is a nice USU win tonight. It might not be Quad 1 for us because Boise might slip out of the top 30. Probably not, but we'll see. But USU win, of course, a huge game Wednesday night to go to 21 in the NCAA net rankings. Really puts the NCAA pressure now on Nevada. They were at 33 starting today. They lost to UNLV. They'd lost to Wyoming before. Again, all of that. So one more Jalen Moore from Wednesday night on the Aggies. Are they really in a do-or-die situation? Do they have to win all of the games as far as he was concerned earlier in the week?
Like you said, we need wins. And, when you go out and win against a good team that plays well at home and you almost beat them by 30, you obviously want to win. But if you do it in a demanding fashion and do it in a way like that as well, that can sometimes leave a mark and stuff on the committee as well. So as long as we win, but when we do it in a dominating fashion like that too, that's even better.
Boy, it must have really done something to the computer to move us way up to number 21. So next up, the seniors tonight. Only the second time for R.J. Idlerock to be honored. He decided to come back one more time. Remember, to play with his good friend Dan Akin. And remember what he said when I talked to R.J. Idlerock earlier? Did you recruit Dan to this team?
Did you recruit him, Harry?
Of course I did. Of course I did. That was my recruitment, so you guys can thank me for that.
I think he's probably the Mountain West Sixth Man of the Year, the way he's come off the bench, Dan Akin. We'll talk more about that as we continue. Game day, Aggies and Broncos. No television tonight for the game. If you don't have a ticket, you got to watch it on the Mountain West streaming network on the internet or the Mountain West app.
This year, celebrate your anniversary with diamond jewelry from S.C. Needham Jewelers. Adorned in diamonds, she will feel elegant and cherished. Choose from a large selection of diamond bands, diamond pendants, and diamond earrings. Also, you'll enjoy a beautiful selection of diamonds mounted in rose gold. We price our diamond jewelry with an integrity price guarantee so that you can be assured the best possible value. With 12 months interest-free financing available. For the people and occasions that matter most. S.C. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
As we have learned this year, viruses can travel through the air, causing an illness. Most virus droplets fall to the ground, but smaller particles may remain in the air longer. Now more than ever, you need clean air in your home. Let Advanced Heating and AC install an air filtration system in your home with HEPA filters. Dust, pollen, and more are floating in the air in your home. Get rid of them with a system that promotes proper ventilation and filtration. Learn how by calling Advanced Heating and AC, and it's online at advancedheating-ac.com.
Imagine your wedding day. Elegant, simple, yet stunning, stress-free. It's your day. It's all about you. Whether you're looking for small and simple or have a grander idea, the Riverwoods Conference Center will accommodate your every need. Choose the inside ballroom elegance or outside along the natural decor of the beautiful Logan River. A Riverwoods event planner will work personally with you to make sure your event is exactly how you've envisioned it. The Riverwoods Conference Center, where your happily ever after begins. Google Riverwoods Conference Center or call 750-5151.
Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is locally owned and operated inside the beautiful new Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. Expect the most cutting-edge techniques, qualified doctors, and friendly staff to ensure the highest quality patient care. The ENT providers have extensive training to properly treat ear, nose, and throat conditions for adults and children. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat serves all of northern Utah and southern Idaho, accepting most insurance products including SelectMed. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for appointments and details. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, located in North Logan and Providence.
Are you ready for Aggie basketball? KVNU Game Day returns.
Just really proud of each one of them. Obviously, each one of them mean a great deal to our team and me personally. A couple of them could play another year, and it's kind of like last year. But rather than waiting and figuring out all that, I don't want to risk the chance of them not having proper senior night, in the Spectrum, because it just means so much to everybody.
So you got about 20 minutes to get up there, maybe close to 25 to be there before the game starts with the honoring of these seniors. Please get up there. It means so much to these players to play one last time in a loud place like it's been this year. Some say it's as loud as it's been in years. People who've been up there, have been around it for a long time, are telling me that. And we appreciate, again, the fan support. Speaking of the seniors, again, it's Dan Akin and Taylor Funk, the two transfers. And you've also got Sean Bairstow and Trevin Dorius, two seniors who could play one more year if they want to. And then Coach R.J. Idlerock's second senior night, as he was honored last year.
And we didn't know this time last year what R.J. was going to do, and I wasn't really concerned about it. Obviously, we were going to do the best for him, but to see R.J. and watch him kind of grow as a player and then go through what he's gone through this year and really recover, at the end and maintain a positive attitude and find ways to really help this team like he has is really impressive.
It is impressive. He's really helping the team, done so well lately, and we'll need him tonight. Again, that's the Rylan Jones missing, and RJ's really started to pick up his game. Hey, and Z Hamoda, the other night, the performance against UNLV on the road, he hasn't had that kind of game. Let's hope that gives him some real energy and confidence to be able to come in and play well. Again, I said the other night, though, they will not face a defense tonight that they faced the other night with UNLV. I mean, Boise State gets after you. They really do pride themselves on D, and they do, of course, play very well with their offense, and the Aggies are going to have to play well tonight as well. Aggie Game Day on KVNU brought to you by Advanced Fireplace and Stove. You can get the new Heat and Glow fireplace for much less than you think. And again, always check out their great stoves as well. Also, we're brought to you by S.E. Needham Jewelers. Marriage, anniversaries, holidays, S.E. Needham Jewelers always has the jewelry and the gifts for every occasion, the state's oldest jewelry store. And LSS Insurance for all of your insurance needs, including great help when you turn 65 to Medicare. They'll get you into the right Medicare and the right Medicare assistance plans available. 752-9493. Give them a call on Monday. They bring you game day. We're going to center in right now on Trevin Dorius. 7'1", 240 pounds, from Heber City, Utah, Wasatch High School. We're going to find out in a minute or two. He kind of thinks he might be like a pirate. We'll find out in a minute. He was a preferred walk-on to Tim Duryea's Aggie 2016-17 team. Speaking of Tim, his fifth year at Boise State as an assistant for Leon Rice. He had the 3 years as head coach here. The last win he had as an Aggie coach was against the Broncos of Boise State. How about that interesting stat for Cache Valley Bank before the game? 13 seasons assistant, the longest at Utah State in history. He was 16-10 against Boise State as a coach. While he was here at Utah State, assistant head coach. We love Tim. We love Angie. I believe even Kylie's coming to the game tonight here in Logan. But again, Trevin Dorius, back to him. He was brought here by Coach Duryea's staff, church mission to Scottsdale, Arizona. And then he came back for Coach Craig Smith's team in 2019-20, played 5 games, had 3 starts, 8.6 minutes a game, 2.7 points, about 2.6 rebounds. Then his sophomore season, similar, about, 8 minutes a game, 25 games he played, 2 points and 2.7 assists. Now, Coach Odom used him for 30 games last year, but towards the end of the year was not playing as much. Still, 8 minutes, 2.7, 2.6 rebounds, but he had a big change this senior year. He started all 30 games, only plays 14 minutes, but I don't know if anybody has had more effect on a game than Trevin Dorius in the 14 minutes that they have played in college basketball this year. 6 points, 4 rebounds. He wanted to lead the team in offensive rebounds. He's done that. He's had 30 blocks this year, and the coach talked about him yesterday.
Trevin's grown about as much as any player I've seen. Last year this time, he wasn't even getting in games. And he had gotten in games earlier in the season, and so that can hurt your confidence. And so for him to come back from that and really grow as a player and find his confidence and his way to impact this team, he's clearly done that. And he's the ultimate team guy. He's a joy to be around. He's a lot of fun in these moments where we're not actually in a practice or we're not in a game. He's the guy that's talking to the coaches, talking to his teammates, talking about life, joking, bringing his personality and levity to the room. He's destined for great things no matter what he chooses to do. He could come back another year and play another year if he wanted, or if he's ready to go about his professional career, whatever that is. He certainly can do that. He and his wife will figure that out later on. But
Yeah, they'll figure it out a little bit later on, and his wife Callie will be out there on the court with him tonight. Now, speaking of his personality, our Eric Franson delves into the players during football and basketball with their Know Your Aggie features, and he got with Trevin just recently.
Getting to know our Aggies, Trevin Dorius, you're our latest victim. For you, Pirates or Ninjas, who would you rather hang out with?
Hang out with? I mean, probably a Ninja. I don't know. Pirates are gross and they smell bad. But, like, as far as, like, people I admire Pirates more than Ninjas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Despite the smell.
Despite the smell. I couldn't do what they do. I think if I trained hard enough, I could be a Ninja, but I could never be a pirate. Get seasick.
Being on the ocean would be trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, cats or dogs for you?
Dogs.
If you were a dog, what breed of dog would you be?
Ooh. I always saw myself as like a husky. I think a husky or just a golden retriever, you know? I just feel like I'm pretty friendly, pretty warm, but I'll leave a mess every once in a while. And I think I really relate with that.
Like, fits your personality.
Yeah, like a good time to be around, but then you leave and you're like, come on, I gotta pick up after that.
Okay, if you won the Mega Millions lottery, what would the first thing you would do is spend that money on?
I think I'm going to Hawaii. I went to Kauai once last year for my honeymoon, and all we're trying to do right now is get enough money to go back. So that's the plan right now. Spend 2 weeks out there, see the sights, lay on the beach. That would be the plan.
You guys got out there in December.
Well, yeah, we were in.
That's a team. That's a little different.
We were as a team, and our daytime hours were spent in a basketball gym, which is fun, and it's a great way to spend Christmas. But no, if I could spend it on the beach instead, that would be preferred.
Okay, and then last question for me: where is your happy place? I think you may have just described it.
Hawaii. if I could go out there, it's a lawn chair, get a pina colada in the hand, toes in the water. You know, I just think there's something about it, and I've grown up in Utah my whole life, you know, so it's like every time we've gone to the beach has been a treat, you know, and I'm sick of the cold, sick of rain, sick of snow. Like, I would just like it to be warm, sunny, a light breeze. That's what I'm all about.
You've got it down.
Yeah.
Very good. Trevin Dorius, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
See, I think you find out a lot more about this guy. I mean, he really is fun to talk to, and his wife, Callie, congratulations on their marriage. He's working on his master's in business administration, already has a business management graduation. But remember, I talked to him recently about the success he has had with those limited minutes in games this year, and he admits he wishes he could stay on the floor a little bit more. Sometimes fouls have been a problem there, Trevin.
I mean, it makes me feel good. It's especially when we win like we do. You know, we're all trying to just play in our role, do it to the best of our abilities, and we know that when we do that, we're going to be the best team in the gym.
I mean, you obviously want to play more if you could get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone wants to play more, but it's not like we're short of good players, you know. Like, I think our team this year is deeper than it's ever been, and minutes are definitely earned. So I'm happy with all the minutes I've got so far. Of course, I'm doing what I can outside of the gym to try to get those up.
Of course, because the minutes he doesn't get, it seems like Dan Atkin gets them. Dan Atkin is transfer from Cal Baptist this year. The NCAA had to clear his 6th year to play. It did take a while for that to happen. Kind of came to Logan and waited. He could not practice in the off-season workouts until he was cleared. But Dan, remember, told us earlier, the team, even though he wasn't on the floor with him, really took him in. And, of course, it helped that RJ was here.
No, yeah, that was a difficult phase for me, obviously, just being out here and not being able to work out. But then, obviously, the team made that, like, just the whole process, like, a little bit better. Obviously, just them, like, welcoming me into the team. Because I came a little bit late, and obviously everyone was already established. So everyone kind of welcomed me in, and obviously knowing the coaches and obviously RJ and stuff, that obviously helps as well.
I don't know if we got time tonight to play Coach Odom's thoughts on Dan Atkin and Taylor Funk. And recently, R.J. Idlerock and Taylor were both with us on our Aggie Game Day, extensively talking about the season they've been through. This R.J. return, of course, was not known a year ago, but now he comes and gets the senior night one more time. Recently, though, of course, some of the competition talk, at least in some of the post-game, pre-game talk, we talk about Taylor Funk. Such a great addition to this team, transfer from St. Joe's. He's in a little bit of a funk, if I could put it that way, with his shooting lately, 2 for 23 from 3. He still is our number 2 scorer on the season, our number 2 rebounder, second most made threes, and the other night after he only scored 2 against UNLV, Stephen Ashworth said,
it shows the aspect that we have so many different weapons that we can go to. And, part of it was possibly that some of the sets that we were running didn't get Taylor as many shots tonight, which I think we'll definitely need in the future because of how well he can shoot it and also just make plays. You saw his 2 was off of a catch and shoot, pump fake, and dribble to the lane. And so he's definitely an elite player and somebody that we're going to need down the stretch. And I'm super confident in Taylor and the fact that he'll be ready when his number's called. And, like you said, with the depth of this team, his number wasn't called tonight, but I have no doubts in the future it will be in a big way.
Let's hope it'll be a big one tonight. He did have 14 against Boise State to lead us the first time around in that bad game that we had. Now, again, the coach was talking about, after the game, he was asked about, is he worried that Funk only scored 2? In fact, in his last 4 games, or last 5, he's had 4, 5, 11, 9, and only 2 points, Coach.
We have good players on our team. It's been like that all year. Different guys have scored, all season. It was Steven's night tonight. It was Max's night tonight. And, Saturday might be somebody else's. And so Taylor did other things to help us win that game.
Boy, he had a big deflection. I remember at a key time of the game to get us the ball back on a rebound or a steal or something like that. And he did that rebound that did give us a chance. Also, you may recall in the great win we had for the Aggies, again, not too long ago. So again, he just comes through and makes plays. I remember it was Wyoming down the stretch when he had that deflection. So those guys being honored tonight. Jalen Moore, one more time, not with us tonight, but he did tell us what he thinks about senior night when, again, he thinks back to his days when he was an Aggie.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. One last time in the Spectrum. The crowds have looked great this year. I'm sure they're going to come out there and support the seniors. And like I said, there's nothing better than having it with a big game. You don't want Boise State to come in there and spoil it. So I think you're going to get a lot out of everybody on the team. And it should be a very entertaining game, and there's a lot on the line. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that game. And I know the seniors are definitely looking forward to being a part of it.
And if Jalen gets out of his tryouts and gets a chance to see some of the game tonight, in some ways he's going to contact us and we can talk to him post-game as well. But we are going to feature also Sean Bairstow tonight on his senior night in the Spectrum. He is my Aggie interview coming up here next on KVNU Game Day, and we'll hear from Sean.
Imagining myself when I first walked in and my little understanding of a lot of things in life and in basketball, and then just growing as a person and on the court, obviously. So I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway from the whole 4 years.
And we'll hear all from Sean in a moment. 2 locations of Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat bring you Aggie Game Day. They're on Gateway Drive and in North Logan. Again, the Three Peaks Medical Center out there. Cache Valley Bank, again, no 2 businesses the same, so banking solutions would be different for everybody, and they work with small business great. Cache Valley Bank and Alpine Home Medical, the premier one-stop shop, a variety of home medical equipment and products and home rental services in Utah and Idaho. They bring you Game Day. Al Lewis continuing here tonight. You've got about less than 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to get up to the Spectrum to be there for the senior night tonight. If you got a ticket, get up there early as they honor those seniors, and we'll talk to one of them, Sean Bairstow, next as we continue Game Day on KVNU.
Les Olson IT structured cabling is second to none. Tired of old and inefficient cabling? Have an upgrade or remodel planned? Building a new network from the ground up? We offer the very best in low-voltage cabling installation, including data, phone, fiber optic, and more. Ask us how to get your free consultation today.
Les Olson IT.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
This is Jay at Daryl's Appliance. When your appliance needs service, who should you trust? May I suggest a company with 50 years of experience serving locals? A company with factory-trained technicians with over 100 years of combined experience? A company that stocks thousands of parts to service your appliance? That's Daryl's Appliance. When you need your appliance repaired right, quickly, think Daryl's West on Airport Road, open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
As a small business, achieving your financial goals and ambitions can be a steep and rocky mountain to climb. This is Brett Green, president of Cache Valley Bank. To conquer this mountain and achieve your goals, it takes planning, hard work, and discipline. At Cache Valley Bank, we have the resources, expertise, and flexibility to help you scale your way to success. Give us a call. Let's work together and climb the mountains that await. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
It's KVNU Game Day with more analysis and more previews of today's game with Al Lewis.
And how important is this game tonight now? The Aggies can tie for second with Boise State if they beat them. Nevada would drop to the 4th seed because they lost in overtime to UNLV today. UNLV came back. They started the game great. They got down by 8 to the last 2 minutes, but they rallied, got the game to overtime, and won it in overtime. And then San Jose, a strong comeback against Air Force earlier today in conference play. And last night, if you missed it, Colorado State with the win over New Mexico. So basically, all the conference spots are set. If the Aggies win, they'll be the 3rd seed. If the Aggies lose, they'll be the 4th seed, and Nevada would be either 3rd or 4th. Every other spot is now set up as we go into this game tonight. Again, they're honoring seniors in just a few minutes in the Spectrum, and one of those guys is Sean Bairstow. His brother Cam played at New Mexico. A couple of his brothers are here, including Cam, for this game tonight. And the coach said yesterday,
Sean is had his first full year, of basketball, really. And, he's done a great job of continuing to work on his game. Like, he loves this game that he plays, and his passion for it is evident. His leadership with this team, has been really important. From the first scrimmage, it's evident that he was going to be a team leader for us, and has done a great job all year. And he got off to a slow start, and was able to recover from that and perform extremely well over the course of the season. I'm really proud of what he's done. Obviously, first level of improvement or thing you notice is the shooting, but he's done other things too. He's been a playmaker, he's been a defender, he's been a rebounder. He's been a winning player for us, and certainly we'll figure out what's going to happen with his future after the season as well.
Because we'll get into that with Sean here in this interview. Again, brought to you tonight by Les Olson Company on Game Day. Half of all organizations victims of ransomware attacks don't take the risk, take action. Les Olson Security Suite is available. Get your free assessment at lesolson.com. And we'll get into that. And the injury-free year for Sean, all those things, as we get into it with the senior from Australia. We talked earlier. There was a point in your Aggie career where things didn't look good for you. Mm-hmm. And now it's turned out to be, I think this year has been a heck of a year. Can you reflect a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, just the roller coaster of the 4 years, really. And it's been a good year. Don't know if I'm coming back yet. We'll have to figure that out at the end of the season. But yeah, if it's my last one, it's been a good one, a fun one for sure. And if not, then we're excited to be back.
How much do you think this season happened because of how hard you and some of the other leaders on this team and the coaches emphasized so much the team together during the offseason, even before it started this year?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the core group of guys that we had kind of knew what it took to win and knew what it felt like to lose. So it was kind of all summer of work was just remembering that feeling and doing everything we can to make sure we don't feel the same way.
Real key for you, knock on wood, injury situation not happening this year like you had to face a little bit last year.
Yeah, no, it's been good to be healthy. Obviously deal with a little bit of niggling issues or whatever throughout the season, but I feel like everyone does. But yeah, no major injuries to make me miss any real time. So yeah, been successful on the injury part.
How proud are you of the improvement on the three-point shot this year, Sean?
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with it for sure. Went through, it was tough mentally as well, just to, miss that many shots last year and people wondering, why can't you shoot the ball, type of stuff. So, yeah, good to finally be able to knock some down and shoot a good percentage.
So was it really just a lot of extra shots, or you make some and your mind changes? What ends up happening with that?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of both. I definitely got the shots up to get better at the end of the day and then shoot it better. But, I never thought I was a 12% three-point shooter. So it's a lot to do with just seeing the ball go through the hoop, and that gives you some confidence as well.
You're a unique player on this team. And what's interesting is, I do the pregame and postgame with Jalen Moore, the former player. And we talk about how this team has so many different ways that guys stand out at different times, and you've got a unique game compared to some of the other guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bigger guard and can do a little bit of everything. So I feel like there's certain games and matchups for us where if they have smaller guards, we can exploit it or go at them down low with me, which can create some opportunities for everyone and myself. So. I feel like we got a lot of different guys where like each game can be kind of their game, and we know that we'll need more out of that guy that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just the way you guys have stuck together, played together through some adversity with Rylan Jones being out, a real leader for this team and all. How you got it together to have the kind of year you've had?
Yeah, I just feel like even the guys we have on the bench that have stepped into maybe bigger roles since Rylan has gone out, like all play the same way as everyone else, just all play free and want to get the best shot for us, and then it's just contagious. We all kind of just try to get the best shot for each other. So when everyone plays like that, it's easy to kind of slot in. Yeah. Have
you had quite a few games where defensively you get a pretty good assignment this year, the way it's been with matchups, Sean?
Yeah, like I get the Maldonado one, the Blackshear. So just those bigger guards. I get a lot of, and I feel like kind of the shifty guards, it goes to more Max and Steven, so it's just different guys, different matchups for our whole team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, different people do better on different guys.
So as you get to the end, maybe, of your Utah State career,
yeah.
What do you think about, what comes to mind of your run here at Utah State?
Just the highs and lows and the roller coaster, and just imagining myself when I first walked in, and my little understanding of a lot of things in life and in basketball, and then just growing so much since being here, away from family, away from your friends and all that. So just growing as a person and on the court, obviously. So I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway from the whole 4 years, for sure. Yeah.
Will you finish school this year?
Yeah, I'll graduate at the end of this.
Yeah, what do you want to do with that?
Honestly, I want to play professional still, so it'll hopefully take a couple years for me to have to use that degree.
What is it, exercise science or something?
No, I was doing exercise science. I switched to integrated studies.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, really just at the end of my career, just reevaluate and see kind of where I want to go from there.
Do you think there'll be a lot of opportunities to play pro in Australia?
Yeah, in Australia or overseas. Yeah, I know there'll be a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of basketball played all over the world, and I think I'm an attractive side for a lot of professional clubs in the way I can do a lot of different things. So, yeah, looking forward to the next chapter as well.
Mm-hmm. Have you had fun being a captain and a leader of this team this year?
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously on the court, it's been a lot of fun, and playing with the boys has always been fun. But I feel like this year, and being a captain and kind of having more pride in the uniform has meant a lot for me off the court as well.
Well, for Aggie fans, we hope you can play some more for us. But if not, good luck to you. It's been fun having a chance to watch you develop and play and talk to you once in a while, Sean. Good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
His parents actually came here in about December and stayed for quite a while into the middle part of January before they had to get back. His mom's like a teacher, but his dad's retired in Australia. But like I said, Cam Bairstow, who played at New Mexico in this conference, very good player, went on to the pros for a little bit. He's played professionally in Australia. He and his other brother are here tonight. And, of course, his sister at one time played at USU as well. All right, next up, we need to get to the coach. Coach Odom's segment coming up on game day.
They play well together. They pass the ball. They defend you at a really high level. They rebound. They do all the things that, you would want your team to do in terms of and how they play. They play tough. They play competitively. they play unselfish, and they're stingy on defense. And so, when you wrap all those things together, you have the makings of a really good team, and obviously their coaches are to be credited for how they play.
And the coach went on to tell us all their players have just played great this year as well on Boise State. More on that coming up. DD Auto and Salvage. Again, they want to help you clean up your yard. 787-1204. They'll pay top dollar for junk vehicles and for your metal you have at DD Auto and Salvage. And Prodigy Brewing. Again, enjoy the TV downtown for basketball going on tonight. I know the Aggie game's not televised. It's only on the streaming Mountain West Network tonight. But some other games will be on there. And, of course, we've got final March Madness coming up. Great spot to go. The only brew pub on Center Street, Prodigy Brewing, brings you game day tonight on KVNU.
Don't get caught without power to your home or business. This is Tyler with Golden Spike Electric. We offer Generac backup generators to keep your home or business warm, avoiding frozen pipes, loss of valuable food, or even a flooded basement. Golden Spike Electric is certified and factory trained, so you know it will be installed right and properly maintained. Contact Golden Spike Electric so you'll never be without power again. Online at gsegenerators.com. We also service other brands, Golden Spike Electric and Generac. Power you can count on.
Nothing better than a great song from 1976. Hi, this is Bob Larson with LSS Insurance, and I'm talking to you, graduating class of 76. Even if you're still working or getting ready to retire, Medicare is a conversation we need to have. Let us help you understand Medicare and all your options. Don't rely on TV ads or annoying phone calls. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Call LSS at 752-9493. Call 752-9493.
Hi, this is Tyler. Recently, my father passed away, and White Pine provided the funeral services for our family. They were friendly, thoughtful, and attentive to every detail. You know, it isn't often that a loved one passes away, so it was very important to my family that everything be handled just right. Because my dad was loved by so many people, we had a lot of family and friends that traveled from out of town. I really appreciate how White Pine Funeral Services made sure everyone was comfortable and that the focus was where it needed to be, on my dad and my family. They really took care of us during this tender time.
It's never too late or too cold to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by Cache Valley Bank on News Talk KVNU.
No, he didn't want to be Stashworth. He wants to be Splashworth. So it's probably a smart move on his part.
That was one of John Russell's best questions all year long. Ask you, the coach. You're going to let Stephen keep the mustache after he took it off and had the big game against UNLV the other night. That was good stuff. Now, we talked about that Stephen Ashworth and Max Rice are two of the hottest guys going in this league into this game tonight. There's so many great storylines into it. Seniors being honored right now in the Spectrum before the game gets started. No television, so you got to stream it on the Mountain West Network through their website. Again, MW Network is where you'll find it online to watch it. But I think all of us, again, we talked about Boise State scored the last 14 to beat San Diego State for their win 23rd on Tuesday night. We did feel Utah State could or maybe would beat UNLV down there. But after the years of struggles against the Rebels in that building and just a tough win in Logan in January, all of us, except maybe players and coaches, didn't see 91-66 coming. And a huge reason the whole night of Stephen Ashworth. The junior guard made plays, he made shots the whole game. But again, when it got tough, the Rebels had cut a 15-point halftime deficit to, that eventually was 12 in the first half they were down. And then they get back to within 4 minutes into the second half. Here comes Splashworth. That's right. He came through after that timeout with 3 straight baskets, and we were all set.
A little champions always answer mentality. I think they had their run in the second half, which was really big, and we just kept making sure that we were composed in those timeouts and communicating about the right things, and then came out and we really needed to make sure we executed on offense so that we could get that bucket, push the lead up a little bit, and we ran the play correctly. They defended it well, and so I had to make a little move, and sadly it was a 2, but it went in. And then I think that just kind of got me going in the second half, made me confident from behind the arc. Even though it was a 2, it felt deep, so knew the next few possessions, if the opportunity was there, I should shoot it. And so I did that, and my teammates gave me all the confidence I needed for that little spurt. But it was a fun one and something that we needed.
I think Jalen and myself have all liked Steven shooting the ball if it is there. Sometimes we feel like he even gives up shots and looks for another guy with his passing. He made 10, 5 of 10 behind the arc, 7 assists. And I said to him after the game, you seem to be more aggressive offensively. And then I asked about that defensive effort, 31% to UNLV, a team that upset Nevada today.
I think that I'm trying to make sure that I'm assertive in the right ways. I think that sometimes in previous years, I would allow teams to kind of just take me out of games by not being aggressive on the offensive end, whether that's attacking the paint, finding quality twos, as well as the 3 ball. And I think that I found a healthy balance of that, and which has given me confidence to be a little bit more aggressive on offense. And then defensively, that's something, as I mentioned earlier, this off week, we've really been able to communicate as a team and come together and set some goals on what we want our defense to be. And if you look over the numbers, I believe over the past 3 or 4 games, if we were playing the defense at the rate we've been playing, it would be a top 25, top 15 defense all season. And so, I think that goes a long way to say where we're at right now, because I think you want to be playing your best basketball in March, and it's officially March. So I'm happy with where we're at on both sides of the ball. Absolutely.
Stephen Ashworth, after the game the other night, a win against UNLV. Don't let Mother Nature spoil your night. That Generac backup generator can be great from Golden Spike Electric. They'll do it for you. Power you can count on. Now our coaches segment tonight as we get into this. Obviously, Stephen just says he's being more aggressive. You can tell from the start this year, Coach, that Max Rice of Boise State has been much more aggressive going to the basket. And he's always been an elite shooter.
Well-rounded player. He's got the ability to get by his man. A lot of that is due to the fact that you do get nervous about his jump shot, because he can really shoot it from well behind the arc. I mean, he shoots it really deep. And so you have to guard him well beyond the 3. And especially in transition, he gets them off. But he's really improved, his ability to drive the basketball. You can tell he's worked on his ball handling. He's worked on his physical strength. And so he can put his body on guys that aren't as big as him or guys that are his size, and still be able to navigate and get shots or get fouled. He's become a go-to guy for them.
What was interesting in talking to the coach yesterday about Boise State and getting ready for this game, remember we heard his keys. Rebounding's a big deal. We're going to have to be really good with our offense against their good defense. But the coach had an interesting thought as he has looked at Boise State on tape this year for 2 games. Obviously one where his team didn't play very well. Now we're hoping for much better tonight. But listen to this.
They remind me of our team last year because they played 5 guys out on the perimeter and in the post, that can play outside and inside, and they all can dribble, pass, and shoot. And it's really tough. They are overall, all right, probably a tougher team, than we were. Certainly the record is a lot better than what ours was last year. I do think they challenge you in a lot of different ways because their parts are very interchangeable, and trying to figure out who you match up with who is difficult. And, it starts with Dagenhart and Rice and Shaver, but it doesn't stop there. Ogbo and Smith are really good players.
And they have 2 guys off the bench who play regularly, but some other guys off the bench have had good games. The one guy had some good moments against Utah State as well earlier this year. So you get into this game. January the 7th was just the low point of Utah State's season. Maybe it's what got Boise State going. They had lost a game, hadn't they, to Nevada, where they had led most of the game and then they came back and won that. And they've, of course, a win today. They clinched second for sure, and they're going to be second no matter what now with what happened to Nevada today. But the Aggies can finish third if they win tonight. Is there an effect, though, of what happened in that game in January to tonight's game in any way, Coach?
Such a long time ago, we were, they punched us, and we didn't respond very well, and we know why. We know why we didn't, and I'm sure they know why we didn't too. That's probably was their goal, but no matter. That game doesn't impact this game at all. We've got to play our game here, and we've got to play to the best of our ability and compete to the best of our ability with no fear. We're at that time of year where I think you saw that the other night. Our guys are committed regardless of the situation and how it's going. It's not just a UNLV game, it's multiple games where there's no give in this team. They keep playing, and they keep trying to find the way to get to a victory.
The Aggies could have lost the game at Wyoming, didn't they? Of course, came back against Nevada to win. They tried to make a game of it against San Diego State. That's the way this team has been. Again, can't let Boise State get on a roll like they did earlier in the game up there. From 2011 to now, Boise State is number 10 all-time in winning in the West, and the Aggies are number 8. just 3 wins ahead. Gonzaga, incidentally, is number 1, and then San Diego State number 2. Broncos have had 8 20-win years since 2014. Aggies have had 4. The 20 victory seasons for the Aggies now in the last 28 years. And the high watermark, 1995, 24, 1960, before this recent run where we've had twice at 30, 3 times at 28, 1 at 27, 1 win a season at 26 wins, a couple at 25. And then we've had 3 at 24, and the Aggies can get there tonight. Boise also can get to 24 wins tonight. And I wanted to mention this. There are 20 coaches that have their sons playing, and obviously Coach Leon Rice very proud of his son, Max. He has Cade also on his bench. We have Connor Odom on our bench as a walk-on. It was announced this week that he'll be awarded a Courage Award for something that happened off the court in his life, earlier in his life. And we'll get into that with Coach in one of our other pre-games as we do game day for the tournament next week. So for 3rd place or 4th place, that's what the Aggies are playing for as far as a seed. And a 2nd place tie, if they can win tonight, will be on immediately after the game with your phone calls, your comments. We'll get stuff from the Spectrum. For our sponsors, I'm Al Lewis. Enjoy the game on the Mountain West Network.
The station for news and talk. KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.